Are you willing to pay $5,000 for your free speech? That's what a legal firm says a public university charged a pro-life student group for security costs at their event.
And today's Daniel Monahan spoke with Alliance Defending Freedom about the case.
The case concerns the University of New Mexico and Students for Life of America. The pro-life group's local chapter invited Students for Life of America President Kristen Hawkins to speak in April. The university said it wanted a security fee due to potential protests and possible violence. The student group didn't think there would be any protests, but didn't feel that they should have to pay, even if there were. Alliance Defending Freedom Senior Counsel Tyson Langhofer.
Our speech is going to be more expensive because other people don't like it. And that's unconstitutional. The government can't charge people money simply because other people disagree with their speech.
That's a precedent Langhofer says the Supreme Court has held for a very long time. In the end, Langhofer says the event went off without a hitch. No violence, no protests. But he says the university still sent the students group a bill for over $5,000 for the 30 officers it had there.
And typically what's happening on these college campuses is they're charging fees to conservative speakers, to pro-life speakers, to religious speakers, because those are the type of speakers that are being protested on campus. So it's these kind of minority voices that are being suppressed because they're having to pay for their speech, when the other voices on other issues, such as the pro-choice speakers, they're not being charged the same types of fees because that nobody is protesting their speech.
Langhofer says a university is supposed to be a marketplace of ideas.
You have their pro-life students who want to bring a pro-life message to campus, but it's their ability to do so is burdened because they're having to pay a very large amount of money, which they don't have, in order to bring a pro-life speaker to campus. And that's the type of a restriction that the Constitution doesn't allow. It doesn't allow the government to burden a disfavored speech.
Langhofer also brings up the role some universities may play in instigating such protests to begin with.
You have universities making these statements beforehand about certain speakers coming to campus, and they foment all of this unrest on campus, and then it actually does disrupt it. And then they charge the student group for the disruption that's really caused by the university community.
The attorney says universities should be promoting the freedom to speak and the freedom to debate really important issues, and not giving in to what he calls the mob.
The small minority of voices who want to disrupt peaceful speech with violence, unfortunately, universities are giving in to those types of demands and allowing them to engage in violence and other unlawful activity, rather than protecting speakers and saying, look, this is the type of education that we want you to have, is to be able to engage with people on different sides of the aisle.
Alliance Defending Freedom sent a letter to the university last week, informing it that the security fee violated the student group and national pro-life organization's First Amendment rights. NTD reached out to the University of New Mexico. We are still waiting to hear back from them. Daniel Monahan, NTD News.